This is the Playground Experience, the Sandbox edition, Q&A live. Yay! All right, today I have my lovely co-host here, April Williams. You know she's enough for 2 or 3 co-hosts just in one.
World.
All right, come on back. All right, then. So we have also Kathy D is in the lovely sunshine state of Indiana. Woo! Enjoying herself at the shore, at the beach, fishing, doing everything. So she took some time out to enjoy the family. So that's where she's at. So we are just us two here holding down the fort, and we are still handling the question, which is what to do when you are at the breaking point. And we were just saying together how I kind of already experienced some of the little issues about the breaking point already, where it's like you just agitate for no reason. It's like, don't touch me, don't say nothing to me, everything agitates me. Little things that this, okay, I can't get this necklace on, F the necklace. Forget it. I don't want to deal with that right now because I'm so upset with this. And just every little thing, your skin crawl, just everything, just ugh. These moon energies that we had with the Cancerian moon energies that we had experienced here really brought on some heavy emotions. It came on. We thought it was going to be a lightweight one, and Cancer came in and said, now let me grab that claw real quick and put a handle on you and say, where you think you going? So it has really had us to really look at our emotions very much so in this one. So how you been feeling, April?
Ooh, she asked me because she knows it's a loaded gun question. I have been severely agitated, like unreasonably agitated, to the point where I'm observing that this is clearly pressure from the universe to get to the next level. And sometimes we need that little bit of jolt. We need that pressure to just make us shake. So they say, through a breakdown, there's a breakthrough. And I've been feeling like slapping everybody and their, what do I say, their John? Because I love your mama, so I ain't going to slap her. I might get cut on the back end of that one. But it has been a very intense emotional week, and it's switching into Leo season, which is my season. Mm-hmm. And from another astrologer that I frequent, the peace dealer, that it is in fact a high pressure situation for Leos for the next little bit here, because they're trying to, the darkness, that last little bit, they're going to put a little pressure on the light. And who is the light but Leo? Leo is represented also by the sun as in the heart of our particular universe. So we typically hold an energy. Now this is like Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising. You're going to have different placements for this, but you can feel that crunch, and it was just very much so. And Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius are all sister signs. So the Sagittarius, I feel like they've been put through a lot too, and the Aries were the forefront with, because they are major players, like in terms of pushing action, and it felt like it was just going backwards a little bit, where we were just like, okay, just hold on. You don't have to slap anybody today. And as soon as you think you're clear, they find something else and it sucks you right back in. So like remaining, then I've realized that I can't push away anger or agitation. I need to actually embody and let it change into something else. So that's what I've been doing, is kind of not swallowing anger, but allowing myself to process the emotion. Mm-hmm. It's almost like it's attempting to get me to an alchemical state of creation. Like when I was a teenager, when we were teenagers, we were super mad creators, but we didn't realize it. But when your emotions are volatile, or when you have extreme emotion, that's where you can actually turn that into something that becomes like physically tangible. So, but unfortunately, most of us were taught lip, right? We're just like, see you anymore. I don't want to, like we just talk out the sides of our mouth, stuff we didn't want to create, right? So we had this whole, that's why our teens years are so angsty, because nobody has taught us how to say what we actually want or express what we're really feeling, and how to create the world we actually want to create. So it's kind of nice to be pressed out of that. I know sometimes I can appear stoic and like,
No, not you.
oh, thank goodness. I was like, because there's a lot. I'm really getting the emotions out. Okay, good. Oh, there's just the
No.
personality side of myself where inside I'm like, you're calm, you've got this. But then on the outside, I'm like, ah! saying the opposite is true. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess the eyes don't lie. Neither do the hips or the stomping feet or the straight up temper tantrum that I would love to have in a grocery store, except I don't want to touch anything. So
No, can't do that these days. No.
you better pick up your child with that face mask and take him outside.
Ma'am, can I escort you to the front of the store? you,
I'll string Lysol around you.
you and your lovely child there. All right, let's go.
I mean, even my son has been showing just more growing pains, more needing of comfort. I know a lot of us have been kind of shifting into maybe wanting to do more comfort foods and different things to kind of try to find some semblance, because normal is not normal. There's no normal anymore, right? There's no floor anymore. There's no ground. And so now what do? We recreate, we grow. And that has to do with taking and embodying all the stuff that's being pressed on us. I know that, the emotions, for me, it hasn't been, so I'm working with Patricia McNealy as well. I'm taking her sacred sexuality class. It's a very interesting perspective because it opens up, she has her own modality, right?
Yes.
It opens up a whole nother level of energies and alignments and stuff you think you process, right? We're all going through it where it's coming back up again. And we're needing to process it in a different way. And this process that I'm going through with her, it's bringing up anger that I forgot that I had. But it's also broader perspectives on past experiences, the stuff you play over in your head, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, or even though you want to put it down or put it away, you can't really do that right now. You kind of need, we can't compartmentalize this stuff. We're no longer being distracted. So with the extension of it's not a shutdown, but everybody needs to behave carefully right now. With that, it's like just take the opportunity to voluntarily do the aha moments versus being forced and pushed into a tower.
Moment, yeah.
Because it's super towery right now. It's super like the end. Like I feel deep in my bones that everything is fine. But on that superficial level, I am agitated and just quickly irritated and like, why aren't these people involved? What is happening here? Why am I even feeling this? Didn't I get over this? And it's interesting because sometimes I put on the mom hat for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I have patience with my child who's clearly having a breakdown? Not my external child, my internal child.
Okay.
How do I deal with my internal child who's having a breakdown? No, he's a sweetheart. Like he is doing his best. I have more patience. We have more patience for external children than we do for ourselves. And if we don't have patience for external children, maybe we should have waited. But that's a whole nother story. It just teaches us another layer to the lesson. So just processing, how do I be patient with myself? And then trying to see myself, because we do astral projection and all kinds of interesting things. But you can kind of hop out of you and look at you from that third party omniscient, you know what I mean, story.
Right.
Suddenly her phone was on a flat surface and jumped to the ground. Her reaction was unseemingly uncharacteristic, And so it's been it's interesting because it's like, okay, because I'm blessed enough to be aware that there's more than meets the eye in terms of reality, right? Mm-hmm. More than just this 3D construct. I know specifically that I'm being worked to my last nerve to create something. And so I am doing my best to co-create with the universe for ease of flow in this transition. And who's really good at this, Raquel, or Jupiter 1111. She's really good at changing and working with the universe to co-create like smooth in her life. But I realized that I am used to the drama. I am used to a little bit of the tension or the aggression, and I don't know if it's culturally or if it was just the experience of how I was raised. But I definitely have gotten used to there being strife and me being that calm center. But what about if I just say, hey, I can still be calm and things can just be good and it can be simple, right? Because what happens, something like, let's say your phone drops and you're lucky enough to have a cover on it, and let's say the cover gets dinged up. Yay, nothing happened to the phone, right? And I'm just could be grateful. Or I could take it as a agitation. So learning to dance with the energy versus judging it and then somehow trying to make it dramatic for myself or trying to make it tense. Even stepping on a little rock. Oh, I could have fly. It's like, really though? You know the rocks are always there. You could have avoided it. It's a very interesting dance that we're all doing with our subconscious, I think.
Yeah, really, truly trying to understand how to go with the flow of things, and I've kind of pretty much taken on the same kind of concept that you have as well too, which is, uh, when it does happen, recognize it, go into observation mode, and just let it flow right through me. Like, okay, all right, then, now I kind of tell myself, I've had a headache here lately too, and I say, okay, now I pretend with my mind. I said, well, you had the headache that really changed your mind. So it really changed and shifted, reprogrammed your mind. So we don't get upset like that anymore. And some kind of way I play that Jedi mind trick on my own self. And it's like, yeah, okay, so I'm not going to get upset about that. Okay, I left out. It was something I could have got upset about. And I was just like, okay, it is what it is. It didn't tape right. Okay, it's all right. I think we're getting pressurized like diamonds right now. This is really what this time is. It's like really putting the pressure on and seeing what have you learned. I've been saying that all along, and it looks like the universe is really taking heed on that to see what things have you learned already, and know how to apply to what's going on now. You can't use the same tools as you did before to kind of get through those things. Like before, you cuss it out, throw the thing, throw your phone across the room. You're like, okay, now let me kind of think now before I take that phone and throw. Like I just start paying for the phone. I'm not finished with paying for the phone. I'm got a smart right there for me to throw that phone. You start really reasoning and kind of going through the steps in the process, which I believe is really good for whatever you're about to get set up to do next in the universe is really truly helping you to hone your skills right now where we are. And like you said, we don't have the distractions before, so now we got to really deal with it. And I always said now when you have those times that you can always set an intention as far as what type of towers you want, a aha tower or the hard towers. Now sometimes you say, okay, I would like for it to be the easy ones or the aha moment towers to hit. And then, but if you see I have to have a hard time to kind of like give that good push there, that's fine. But my preference is like you like or something like that. I really would like my hamburger to be medium well, but if you can't do that, then I go for the well. So that's what you're telling the universe. Like this is exactly what I want to be teach. But if you think taught, but if you think that I need to kind of take it a different way, then you are more than welcome to do that. But you could put your preference in like that. I would like it to be more funnier, less heavy on the towers, and a little more light and more on the heavy on the ahas. Then when you're doing that, you're putting in your order. That's what I always kind of pretty much think about that. This right now with this breaking point is not even this yourself. I have two experienced the inner child too as well, kind of coming out and guiding a lot. I guess that's pretty much intentional because we talked about the inner child And so it looked like the inner child now from our last discussion has really been stepping up. It's like, oh, you call me, you need me. So that is really a good thing. Another tool to use is your inner child too, to help you through these times, because they might could think of something more playful for you to do and say, okay, well, let's not look at this. Maybe sit down, let's get have a scoop of ice cream. Like, okay, that's comfort or whatever, for you to really kind of get over it. But these breaking points that you have until you get to the breakthrough is very is needed. And we can't go around and kind of surpass it and say, can I get a pass on that? Like they like on the boardwalk on the Monopoly board. Pass, go, collect your $200 at the end of the board game. That ain't gonna work. You gotta take your time in doing things and really truly go to the process, because as Kathy D says, we're getting to the bottom of the coffee pot. And now you did a couple of passing the bucks before, and so Spirit's like, no, 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 not so fast, dearie. You didn't. We let you pass next time. Now you got to really truly clean out that coffee pot now before we put in this new stuff in. And that's where what Lady T said. Yeah, the aha, that was a doozy. Sometimes the ahas can be a doozy too. They ain't no lightweighters. Don't get that twisted either.
If you are here right now, the odds are good that your ahas were a kick in the butt from the universe.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, you can just imagine what the DM is. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of stubborn, right? I'm bullheaded. You see her. Anyway, I think she might be thinking about herself. I'm just saying. I'm saying there are counterparts. I'm saying there are counterparts, so they have very similar mental patternings that we do. So the being strong-willed and all of these things are going to come up with them. Even if you think your ego is gone, boom, there's my ego.
Yep,
What's really nice about the inner child is they're honest.
True, to a fault.
Because as adults, we've learned to kind of pacify things or just kind of move language around so that we can like not really be honest about how we actually are feeling. Because I had one of those doozy aha moments based on some decisions that I went over. But then I also went like this with the universe too. It's like, how are you going to step that to me? How are you going to give me that if you can smell a cheater from a mile away and you do not want to be cheated on, why would you pick one? When you know at a later date, they might not be a cheater anymore. They have blocked that out of their system. But why would that accept that as your challenge? Right? Based on, and it's like, we pick our twins, and when we meet this, for those of us who have met them, we had a specific mindset going when we attracted them in the first place.
That is true. It's the state they were in.
And so that's why our vibrations were able to link up at that time. But if we took time off to kind of get ourselves back in order, then, just know you're doing the due diligence, you're doing the right thing. Because that's what keeps coming to me. It's like, oh my God, am I being punished? I'm so sorry that I didn't do X, Y, Z. And I said, wait a minute. My inner child was like, wait a minute, it's not always your, because I'm one of those ones who's like, everything is my fault. If I just take all the responsibility, and things will just get better if I just add one more thing to my stack, and then I will, but no, it's okay. You can be mad, and you can be mad that God gave you that challenge. And it's not that I'm saying I'm mad at God. I totally am on board with whatever he wants me to do, or else I wouldn't be doing this as part of my mission, right? So as challenging as this is, because it's different than my family norms, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, okay, God, I hear you, but why would you give me that? And you can say these things, you can communicate with Spirit in this way, because it's my inner child. It's pretty much like, look, you pushed me over there You take me from one cheater to another cheater. Why are you going to do that? And you want me to believe this one's the one? How about I work on me and heal me first, and then we'll get back to the one or the two or the whoever, right? And so you think that you're missing an opportunity, or you think you did something wrong, but it's just more or less for them to learn their lesson through their process too. If he was in such a rush to actually meet the one and be with the one, he should have actually got to know the person, right? So I'm gonna just be frank but still vague. So in mine, he was seeing way too many women, and I could sense them on him. And when he was around me, when you're around your twin, your energy is going to overload, right? So I could sense all the women, I could sense all the lies, and then for some reason, one of them I just kept meeting up with randomly. I didn't know they were together, but she's sitting there talking about all this, and then he sends me a text message after I done talked about him, saying, "Don't say anything." After, don't say anything about. Wait, but I'm like, you want me not to say anything, but you basically been dating this girl and treating me like a late night side piece. I don't think so. Like, I actually am here to cultivate a divine family and divine creation. If you wanted me to be this way, then you should treat me this way. But you're gonna treat her like that? And that's something that I thought was imbalanced. And there's no way that if I would have said yes at that time, that his actions would have changed. Right? Because he can get away with it like that. So, let me step back and get what I'm worth and what I deserve. Now that kind of blew up in the face a little bit. That was an owl tower, but because I was pushing, oh, that person's doing that. Well, I'm gonna do this and be happy with it. I'm gonna settle my life this way. And it's like, I don't think so. Says the universe. We can stir that up for you so that you can keep growing. And then your energy just pulls this person along, not on purpose, but it just does because you're linked together. And so that's when I was pushed to a breaking point. So when you're pushed to a breaking point and you are now acting out of emotionality and you have some kind of silly logic about it, you reason yourself into doing stupid stuff all the time, right? Like, you need to take a step back and get off the breaking point, get out of the edge, and actually say, okay, spirit, what would you like? Okay, what is the divine timing that you want me to have? Because these are agreements that are now being readjusted. Even if you are told something, because I've watched Jupiter 11:11. She says, God will give you something. If you don't take it, you have to deal with that. And sometimes that'll pass you up. But I don't think that is in relation to love. I think it's more in relation to a project, like a book idea, or like a script or something, or like a play. It's not about the alignment of your love. It's not about the alignment of your getting your divine union in order. And we started stepping into a place because there's so much energy associated with the individual. There's so much expectancy and codependent kind of ideas that stepping away from, it's got to be this person, it's got to be right now, into I'm happy right now and this flow is good. And if this person shows up to meet me, I know it'll either be this person or someone better that God has designed specifically for me for this part of my journey. And so that's what we're graduating into, is from our volatile teenager or our temper tantruming inner child to, at peace with walking hand in hand with God on this journey to step into whatever it is that we're supposed to create.
Yeah, so when we're talking about even that, of course, I watched Kate Moon, and she was talking about the planets and the way they are already aligned. Pretty much, this was 2020. We kind of missed the mark on that. We were supposed to have, really, we were like, we're going to be living the vision. No, like I said in my, what I said in my, what's it, not the trigger warning, because I didn't do that. I did have to put it in trigger warning. Well, anyway, the trigger warning or the survival guide stating that, we are supposed to be getting the vision together, being able to see what we're doing. That's what it was for us to do. And she said a lot of, right now, what's happening with the planets is that the divine feminine and divine masculine are both supposed to be working on themselves right now. And then later on at the end of 2020 or towards that, then you will come together. And so, that to me may be a little bit rest assured for me to say, okay, well, that's all right. Let you go on ahead and finish what you got to do. Let me finish what I have to do, because it seems like it's not just me, the COVID, but it looks like in some ways, as some people say, the luck of the gods is not with you or some kind of way. But my thing is, there's a lot of things that's going against for this to actually happen, which is also pushing us to say, I told you, this is what I want you to do. I want you to concentrate on you. I want you to concentrate on your mission. I want you to concentrate on you being your greatest self. I want you to concentrate on getting some of those, your mind right, your heart right. And this is what we are really actually being pushed to do during these times. And so it's really becoming prevalent. I know when that COVID hit, and I was like, well, this is really a way for God to really shut it down. It's like, okay, now you ain't going to have the ability to be able to move and see them and all that kind of extra stuff. Is like shut down. So to me, I was like, okay, I hear you, God. You got my attention. That was an aha and a tower all wrapped up in one with that moment right there, to understand. Okay, now I want you to really truly concentrate on your mission and what you're supposed to be doing at this point. So it's. I'll say it's not even just a child making a tantrum. I'm seeing grown folks throwing a tantrum. It doesn't matter if they just small. I don't know if that's the inner child or some part of them. It's like I want it now, and this is right now. We have to really just relax, sit back, and just really be present and really understand that what's being presented to us, to really just go with the flow of what's being given to us as well. Because if we go against it, it's like fighting the current of going that riptide. The more you fight it, and the more you try to go towards shore, the more you be pushed away from the shore. So it's just might as well just float. Like they say, just float and go parallel with your goal where you want to actually go. And then you eventually find yourself coming back to where you eventually need to be. And that's where we are right now. We're just floating, just out there.
Well, we're flowing, but we're also standing for injustices too, right? We're finally pulling the wool off of people's eyes and saying, no, this is okay. This isn't okay. So when she says, like rolling with the punches and stuff, she's not actually saying if you're in an abusive relationship, like just learn to duck and leave. No, she's saying call a spade when things are, because that's what the inner child does, right? Like I ran a daycare for a little while. This is a real child story. I ran a daycare for a little while, and I was watching this little girl, and she has a very petite mother, like very 5'2" or 4'8", like barely 100 pounds. So me, I'm 5'9" and like close to 2. I think I was close to 210, 230 at the time, something like that. Anyway, I'm watching the little girl, and she's trying to crawl around me. She's like, April, your butt is so big. And I'm like, okay, but you know what? To be real, my butt was huge. It is, thank you. A little small, little toned, okay? But it's still, but I'm going to accept that. I'm not going to say, oh, she's wrong, or you need to not say that. It's like, no, it's okay to just call things how they are. And that doesn't mean that the other person, I couldn't change. I couldn't get a healthier lifestyle and take better care of myself. So as we go through this with our inner child on our sleeves, just say it how it is. Like, you know what, that's a little bit racist right there. Or, you know what, that you wrong for that one. That's a faulty belief system. Oh, you're an adult person having a temper tantrum because they didn't have your variety of cheese right now. You need to step back and take a look at it and say, you know what? Exactly. Relax. Right. Like, I mean, and that's the thing is we get to call each other on it. We are completely out of line. Like you ain't acting, you ain't all there right now, girl. You all right? And it's okay to acknowledge that people are multiple dimensions at once. Everybody's healing on so many different levels. And we're all being confronted. Thank you, new moon, second new moon in Cancer.
Yes.
and it's all leaving us open right before the heart season, right before Leo season. And as much as I want to not make this whole show about astrology, it kind of is it is part of the flow of our existence, and the patterns are showing. So let's not deny when things are.
That's funny that you say that, because I have been instructed to say the next survival guide thing is for me to talk about astrology and how important that is. The importance of it, to understand that astrology gives us the blueprint as to how we are, who our being is, how we interact with the universe, how we act and how we react to things. And how that's just really very important that we know. I know a lot of people try to throw it over to the side, like, oh, that's hodgepodge, but it does help you to really get a understanding of things. Like today, I looked at something and it was talking about Aries, and you have to remember that Aries have the rams, they have the horns there, which is their part of their defense. And they say, but then again, that could help and that could work against as well. And then it hit me, and I was like, oh, you know what? I always talk about overactive crown. Well, guess what? That would be the Aries part with the horns, with that ready to always act and be ready to do that. So I was like, okay, it's really good that you sit there and you look at the different characteristics of, the parts, especially, the basics. Of course, your sun, your moon, and rising. Those are your basic, and your Venus. You could also know that because that helps you to know about your love as well. But those are the ones that you really love. Your sun is like who you are, but your rising is actually your representative, that you come up and you really, people, when they see you, they'll say, oh, okay, I thought you was a Sagittarius. No, I'm an Aries at the core. Okay, but I'm affected by Aquarius moon, which is my mood, my emotions is affected, and I kind of balance according to that. So, it helps you kind of like, oh, okay, now I kind of understand why I act certain ways in those things. I mean, it's just always, like I said, it's a blueprint and stuff. Nothing's written in stone. Heck, because I could tell you, I got a daggone astrology chart for years. I thought my stuff was all reversed. I thought my moon was in Cappy, and I was like, but something don't feel right. I don't feel Cappy-ish. But I knew I was Aries. That never did change. But my Venus was always Gemini. That was still the same. But I think it was, what was that down there? My rising. Was it Cancer? Yeah, my rising was Cancer in my first report. And then when I went and got it again with Kate Moon, and she's like, I don't know who did your chart, but that ain't who you are. And I was like, yeah. And so I know we had a conversation with April, and she told me, you sure you ain't got no Aquarius in your chart? Because something's suspicious. She's like, wait a second, because the way
you're a whole nother level. There has got to be.
Right, you're like, And then when she told me, I was like, okay, well, as soon as she pulled out that thing and said, Aquarius, I said, April was on to something. She sure is right. All the time. April told me I could have paid this $70 to April. Hell, she could have did my chart.
Just learning to dance with our cosmological makeup, because nothing is really set in stone, but it does help you understand how you flow and your natural perspective. But that doesn't mean you can't hone certain things or strengthen, or all of your strengths you can exemplify, and all of your weaknesses you can then support them to help you actually have the imagery you want. And if you need, because mine says like, oh, you're not necessarily a go-getter, but I'm like, but I got all these dreams, baby. So like I have set up accountability systems, like with the Sunshine Circle. I have like small other groups that I work with to help keep me accountable and keep me moving forward. Because my natural tendency is, oh, I'm tired, I'm just gonna sleep all day. I don't know if y'all know this, but don't get me wrong. Sometimes I let myself have that luxury, but with the baby, you don't have that kind of luxury.
That's out the window. That's gone with the wind.
So you're lucky if you do get some sleep. The hard part is my cleanse right now because I'm on a little like a liquid fast, or like it's an easy fast. It's not a hard fast. I'm already a practicing vegan, so it's easy enough. Just cut out some carbs. But it was basically like no caffeine, and I was like, oh, but sometimes that's all I need is just to keep me going. So I've been working turmeric and black pepper. They combine together. They're anti-inflammatory, but that turmeric gives you that zoing. And they have tons of fresh turmeric here because it's Hawaii. It's this tropical plant. And ginger.
But rub that in on us. Just rub it in. Just rub it in.
Wax on, and I'm not waxing off, baby. Well, if you want some turmeric, I mean, it's only so much per pound. I can mail it out to you. You get some fresh turmeric.
I know.
I'll hook you up. I make this blend. Ooh, girl. I mean, maybe one day I'll sell it because I don't know how it would ship. I could practice with you, I guess. But it's a golden milk.
Okay.
So ginger, turmeric, clove, cinnamon, black pepper, and coconut oil and a little bit of water to help blend it. And so you just add it, and it's like a latte. It's like chai golden. It's like a golden chai without any caffeine. It's really nice. And you just add it to milk, or you could add it to coffee with milk, or you could add it, whatever you want. It's really yummy. Plant-based milk, really good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If you like those delicious nutritional treats, go check out my website. I also could help you put together an eating plan, and we also have a 3-part circle.
Don't sign
with our missing third leg.
We got the playground and the meal plan. If we want to really elevate to the next level, we add on the meal plan by April. Both Weight Watchers, they don't understand the twin flame body, so you want to get it done by April with.
No, Weight Watchers doesn't. It's not about points. That's crazy. I tried to do that once. I was like, I'm allowed how many points per day? This doesn't even make sense. It's trying to make me feel better. It's like going into, what did my mom take me to? Torrid. Have you heard of it? It's a clothing store. It's like Lane Bryant.
Yeah. I remember.
They put all the sizes like 1, and I'm like, there's no way I'm a size 0 or a 00 right now. What is happening? You cannot confuse me. I still know that my ass is fat. But like in a good way, not in a bad way.
Watch the verbiage. Watch it.
Oh, excuse me.
You're well endowed in the booty. That's what we call it. Well endowed in the booty.
It was really funny because that was like I guess it was most men, the way I carry my body, I guess they don't think that I have a large. Why am I talking about this? Anyway, this was the breaking point. It was the breaking point. I bumped it up on somebody, and they was just like, "Oh my goodness! I had no idea you were carrying this glory." You light up my life. He's not singing my booty. You give me wings.
Watch Kathy D come back. I left y'all alone for one damn day. How y'all divide and talk about? I watched the playback and y'all was talking about the booty for 10 minutes.
But that booty though. That's fun.
That booty though. Milkshake to the yard. Bring all the boys to the yard. But that booty though. I'm trying to see. Let's see anything else on that. It don't feel right to say, wait, say, you gotta exercise at this time.
Okay. Well, a lot of the breaking point for some people, like they push away their twin based on physicality, right?
Oh.
And so, like I'm not thin enough, or I'm not this and that enough. And it's like these are preconceived notions that you put on yourself. And if a masculine has done that to you, where they're like, you have too much weight on you, or the blah 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 blah, they don't actually care about you. They care about your image. If they're saying, let's be healthy together. Let's go out and do stuff for our health, to keep, because most men love a voluptuous woman. The studies are out. The magazines done lied to you.
They lying.
Flat stomachs is for prepubescents, okay, or people who work out too hard, okay. They got the psoas, straight up dick muscles, which is okay because I like those in a man, but not, whatever. Anyway, I'm not judging. All I'm saying is body appreciation, body positive.
Yes, body conscious.
And health positive.
Right.
You can't just say, well, you should love me for who I am, and I'm 400 pounds and I can barely breathe. It's like, no, that's not healthy for you. You're not even honoring your temple anymore. So it's okay to go body positive. It's okay to allow yourself to have the thoughts that you're having and the emotional breakdowns that you're having. But let's analyze and restructure the mental habits behind why you're even having the breakdown. If it's simple things like external irritations, then you could see yourself like, okay, I'm about to level up because everything's pressing on me to distract me from what it is I'm actually trying to do. True. Now, if it's all internal dialogue that's causing you a breakdown, then it's let's restructure the mental patterns that have been created or designed or programmed into you so you can actually live at a higher vibration of your experience. How did she get more lemonade? How many cups of lemonade do you Just like, did it refill itself?
I got somebody like what's that? the Andy Cohen show. What's that? What's happening? What's happening live? Andy Cohen got the bartender. I got the bartender right over here. They gave me barkeep. Gave me something more to drink. Go.
Yeah, and like getting out of the habit of comparing yourself with if there's a divine karmic involved. Divine karmic, whatever. If there's someone else involved, playing the whole, they're better than me, they're more attractive, they're younger, they're older, they're whatever, or that's really nothing to do with it. It's about vibrational holding.
True.
And I even have one friend who was like, well, I'll be in an open relationship if they just want me to be just to be with them. And like, but that's not really what you want. So you coming into actual alignment with yourself, that's what the breaking point is to break through whatever is blocking, whatever is holding you back. So I do have an idea for exercise today.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times, because the karmic, in some ways they share the same frequency, but it confuses. But they can't hold that for a while, and there's no way. I know we all go through that point where we kind of compare ourselves. They're no better, and the divine masculines, they don't care about what shape we come into at all and how we look, and they just attracted, period, to us. You're just beautiful. They see beyond that other stuff. But you gotta remember, they help to co-create you too. They put in that order. Like, I want it with the big booty, dimples, big eyes, that crazy laugh. I put that order in. So just like you put in an order for them before we went over. I want them tall, nice muscle arms, nice chest, tall. Okay.
We better catch her. We better somebody lasso her in before we lose her to Freaky Friday. I want the sweat to drip down his body as he works in that divine. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm back. But yeah, I mean, you just have to remember that we put in the order for each other, so we knew what we were looking at and what we wanted. So don't worry about it.
It's true, and that you are perfect just as you are, and you're healing. You're more you. And as you hold yourself at your highest frequency, the karma cannot do anything about that. And it's not that they want to be us. They're holding on to a situation that doesn't serve them. So it's a matter of not necessarily saying, we want them gone. We want it out. It's like, help her so that she can learn her lesson. And then, you know what? How about I focus on me? Help me so that I can learn my lesson and hold my vibration as space. I know that no light can shine like mine. I know that no voice can sing like me. I know that I am me. And that is more than enough. I'm in the perfect place. I'm in a perfect body. There is no need to wait. There is no need to change who I am, because I am ever unfolding as God wants me to be, you know? And as we start to embody this, and we're detaching from the person, we're detaching from that situation, right? Because we're still calling in, I think a majority of us are calling in this person from a past experience or a person from an experience we have yet to have. And so to release the old experience, you have to allow for new. But that means you have to go within and say what you want. Remember, making your deals and your requests from the universe, like actually, not, well, if everybody's happy, then maybe. No, what do you want for real? Your inner kid is going to be like, well, I want the chocolate ice cream and ice cream on the bananas. Can I get the hot fudge? And I don't want it cold. I want the hot fudge, and I want the chopped up peanuts, the salted ones. Because they're very specific about what they want. And they want it, and they can have it. They don't have any denial until they don't have any concept of not receiving what they want.
Right.
And what happens if they don't get what they want? Which means, point, okay, you went too far. You were too attached.
We do not throw tantrums as divine.
My holy divine tantrum.
Right, no divine tantrums. Snap out of it.
All right, everybody, clap your hands and stomp your feet. I'm on a big exercise ball. That's why I'm always bouncing.
Oh, I thought you did that naturally. Oh, wow.
Just squeezing my buttons constantly, 100%. Work on your mental. Oh, no big floor muscles on fleek. Okay. Okay, anyway. Let's see. Let's roll. Releasing our spine. What's wonderful about moving the body and moving the spine in particular is it allows space to come in, and that space can bring in creativity. It can bring in more love. It can bring in more self-acceptance, self-worth. But when we're rigid and we're stiff, everybody just stop real quick. You see how like your body wants to keep going. Your body wants to keep flowing. It doesn't want to be stiff, but we've been training. Keep moving now. We've been training our body to sit still, to be in front of a computer, or to be driving, when we actually need to be working with our spine, allowing that fluidity. Some of you might have little cracks and pops and all that good stuff. And that just means, guess what? We get to do this more often, right? Because there's all of this stiffness within us that gets to allow ourselves to be in flow. Okay, so let's go ahead and use your arms to kind of recreate a bubble around you, your sphere of protection, your sphere of safety. Oh, this bubble, it's silver on the inside, then it goes to gold and then rose gold. Keep moving. Keep moving. You're moving. Your bubble moves. Allow the air inside of your bubble to get nice and thick. Ooh, it just got hot over here. Is anybody else getting warm? All right. Ooh, the air gets thick like water, thick like milk, thick like cream. And then you can add some, like, even if it starts off as artificial resistance, but you're allowing your arms to kind of move slowly. You feel how powerful and thick your aura, your energy is. You shift it. So spread your toes, spread yourself out as far as you can. Your arms too, if you can. I got little arms. Spread yourself out. Allow yourself to stretch. And now just kind of shrink in. Tighten your muscles, tighten your core. Squeeze your pelvic floor. And release, relax. Ooh, I feel like I got bigger. Does everybody else feel like their aura expanded? Yes, it did. Okay, one more time. Let's tighten up. Stiff, tighten. your face, all of the things, tighten the things. And it's good. Release. There's no attachment to it.
Okay.
Have fun with it. We're inner child's coming out. We are having fun with it. Just relax. Just let yourself feel yourself. You feel how powerful you are. You feel how much space there is for creation. Yeah. We got these chakras in our palms or our fingertips, depending on how sensitive you are. And wake them up with some claps. You got them in your feet too. Go ahead and kind of stomp your feet on the ground. And I want you to trace over your crown and down your body, the fronts and sides, and just allow yourself to feel your power. Allow yourself to feel the energy given to you by the universe in a safe, protected bubble. Let your body talk to you. What's she saying? Does she have any pain, any stiffness? It's okay. Just send extra loving energy out of your hands that way. And let's trace it again, doing some more parts of your body. Now I want you to stop over your womb space or over your sacral area, and just allow yourself to send energy into your sacral. It's calling for balance. And push it into your root as well. Tap your heels again so the energy goes from your sacral down your root through your hips and your knees and your ankles and the soles of your feet into the earth. And let the earth shoot back up energy into your feet, ankles, knees, hips, root, and soul, or sacral. So as we connect with our constantly moving earth, we know that we're constantly moving and shifting and changing. And we trust that it's for the better. We trust that every step has been gifted to us by our beautiful earth with heaven's consent and balanced manifestation of our actions. Now open your crown up, open up and allow the light of heaven or the light of the deep universe to go in through your crown. It went through several chakras to get to your crown, by the way. So going through your crown, your third eye, into your throat, your heart, and you want it to connect down to your solar plexus into your sacral. And go ahead and squeeze your abs a little bit and release, squeeze and release. And this is pumping the universe into you deeper and deeper from the deep dark universe, or the deep light universe, however you want to picture it. And it flows into you. And it's safe, so it's allowed to come inside of your protective shell, your protective bubble. And then we're going to squeeze our pelvic floor, pull it down from the sacral, and we're going to allow it to pull through to the root. And now for the knees, and through the feet. And feel the flow of energy coming up from the earth and down from the universe, allowing them to spiral through your spinal column and out your hands and down your legs and out your feet. Now, whatever you think has been pressurizing you or irritating you, I want you to allow it to come up to the surface in your mind's eye. Whatever the stress is, be it financial or family or being isolated, just not knowing what's going on with the government, this whole COVID thing, like everything's changing. Just let it rise up, let it rise out of you. And as it rises to the surface, send it through that central column, out through your feet. Allow the earth to change it in her deep magma or lava-filled core, and allow it to come back through to you changed. Allow it to rise up through to the heavens, and then God or the universe comes through to meet and change as well. So your ideas or perspectives are now being opened up by the universe so that you can see more clearly what it is and how to have a better hold mentally to allow in change, to allow in the beauty, to allow in the lessons, the ahas. There we go. Take a deep breath in. Now, whenever you feel the stiffness come back in your body, or you feel yourself agitated throughout the day, or you feel something come in to pressurize you, I want you to take yourself back to this point and allow both heaven and earth to come together through you to change the circumstance, and know that miracles can happen with just one breath. And you are beautiful, and you have been created to hold so much light and so much love and so much beauty. And you are changing so much just by being you and allowing the emotion to go through and change and become you. And you can take this energy and you can share it with those around you. You can raise the vibration of everything around you with just one breath, with just one change of thought, with just one change of perspective. Okay, so now I'm going to just put one hand over my third eye and crown and ask for clarity. I'm going to move it over my throat and ask to speak truth and speak what God wants me to speak over my heart. Allow myself pure love, the love of God, the love of the universe, and how to share that. I'm going to put my hands over my shoulders, kind of like I'm patting myself on the back. And then open my heart up while I do that, kind of spread. Allow myself to receive from the universe that which I truly desire, that which is from my highest, our highest good. Allow the earth to bring in manifestation. Okay, I'm going to take my hands, move it over my solar plexus. Know that I'm empowered. Know that we are here. And we are willfully obeying our highest selves. We're going to go over our sacral. We're going to trust our sexuality. We're going to trust our femininity and our masculinity. We're going to trust and know that this is where creation not only begins but grows. I'm going to put a hand over the root, lower it. Know that our foundation is set and may be changing, but it's always there for us. You just run it over your knees, over your ankles. You can touch the ground if you want to. You don't have to. Just stomp your feet, open your eyes, come back to here and now. Whew, we did a lot of work right now, people.
A lot of work.
We did a lot of work.
A lot.
Maybe even wash your hands with some salt later. I don't know, whatever you're feeling to kind of just cleanse that, because we tapped into a lot of stuff, and you're safe, you're protected, but at the same time, you want to get rid of that excess energy, stuff that you don't need. So you can just wash your hands with salt. I'll be putting my salts on my website soon. So, but you just basic table salt, sea salt, Himalayan salt. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need the ions. If you got ocean, go ocean.
Okay.
They quickly transmute. The earth quickly transmutes. We just need to give. We need to give it away.
So can I go out and step into my yard and bare feet and do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
You can go do that too. That's a good one.
Okay. I was trying to see. I felt that.
I saw it in your hair. Just kidding.
I'm gonna go roll in the grass for a while now.
Oh my gosh! Remember how itchy we used to get?
Yeah. And like grass stains all in your clothes that you couldn't daggone get out of. I'm like, don't do that no more.
Well, just buy me green pants then. It's all.
You're wondering how the hell that happened? Like you had blue jeans on. Like April, you're gonna have to do the meditation all over again because I didn't you reset. Oh, that one. I'm gonna do this very quickly. I'm trying to see. I brought up the house pass, but I'm gonna bring up. Let me see. So we have something for our mind. So we're talking about what we can do to get through the breakthroughs, the breaking point. What does Source want us to actually do when we come to that? Softly, 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 the tender touch.
Beautiful.
That's interesting. They got that softly, softly, the tender touch. Okay.
Oh,
So got all those geometric shapes and all that sacred geometry being represented. The numbers 20. Let's see what they have there. So what do they want? This is really enough just in itself what she got here. Okay, let's see. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Here we go. Oh, Lord. I ain't got a healing here, too. Oh, wow. Oh. Softly, softly, the tender touch. The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have a proportionately greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of the feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, we talked about that earlier, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, now, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation. I'm going to say it again. I get Jupiter 11 say that for somebody in the back. This is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. And I'm going to jump to the end. They gave a nice healing process. They say out loud, I shine like the sun.
I shine like the sun.
Radiant with grace.
Radiant with grace.
And all that I desire.
And all that I desire.
Comes to me according to perfect timing.
Comes to me according to perfect timing.
I relax.
I relax.
Believe and receive.
Believe and receive.
Through unconditional love.
Through unconditional love.
This is now so.
This is now so.
So that's what they said for you to do. Okay, all right. We just talked about this. This is everything we talked about. Not forcing it, going with the flow. That's what we say happens when you have.
Can you hold that up to the screen for just a second? The healing.
What time, the lady?
No, just hold the book.
Oh, the book.
I want to see the healing part of the thing because I could take a screenshot later.
And repeat. Okay. The words. I'm sorry, misunderstood. Excuse me. Let me see. I got to see which way.
Perfect. Oh wait, a little bit to the other way.
This way. This way.
No. Yep, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
And got it.
Okay. I'm like, which way? This way. My left, you over there. My right.
I'm confused.
You're like, what? Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. If I can remember that. Right there. That was pretty much it on the nutshell. That right there, that said it all. I don't need to come back with nothing else. All these cards, I'll take them right on back. That was it right there. All right, then. I don't think that right there. Source shut it down and threw the daggone mic down and walked away. Say, okay, I get my job is done. Okay, thank you, Source. Thank you. You're real. You the man, Source. You the one, Source. That's it then. You go. We ain't got to do nothing else, Source. That's it. He's like, shut this thing down. We get the last word. All right, Source. I know how to be obedient. All right, then. Here we go. Let's go back to the original screen. Thank you for you all that have joined and hanged in there with us in this playground experience here, the Sandbox today, and understanding what to do at this breaking point. Thank you so very much for those who came out. Let me do the shout outs just very quickly. We got Lady T in the house, Bonita's in the house. Okay, Shasha is in the house. Learning lessons is in the house. I already said Bonita was in the house. Beautiful. All right, we're in the house. Woo woo. All right, let's close it and shut this thing down. If you want some more beautiful meditations that we have for our own Hawaiian goddess here, go to Made for This goldenlife.com. This is our own Golden Lifestyles Unlimited here that we're talking about representative. This is the owner, the owner. They haven't got a corporation yet, but they're in the works. I feel it every time I say it. So they're coming there. So if you want some more of that beautiful, lovely meditations, helping you get in touch with your body, know those things she said about the salt fast too. She's gonna get to the apothecary things, lines of things too as well. So you got that. She's got beautiful salt, bath salt lines too. I've used that myself as well. Beautiful stuff. She used actual natural things from Hawaii, which you feel like you're in Hawaii as well. So you want some of that good card reading that you see the accuracy right there. I mean, I just pulled straight from. That's why I like to pull it from the box. So you don't think I done tricked it. She didn't read it. Nope, straight from the box. I already see. It's picked right up on what we just talked about. It just put a nice cap to it. So go to Divineunisouls11.co as well. We have our 3-person program that we have there called the Playground Experience. Kathy D represents the mind. She helps you with that to get into that understanding. And then you also have April Williams there who helps you with your body as well, consciousness, to get it conscious, understanding about your body and where it houses the energies and healing and those meditations. And I handle the spirit, which I talk about, and I get to source, and we tap in, we talk about what things you need in order to create that transformation for yourself spiritually. So that's $92. That's an hour for each one. That's 3. There's no way you can get any kind of professional help for $92 for that. It's in 3 hours worth of work that's being put into you. You can also pick the topic or the subject that you want us to do, and we'll create around what you feel is something that you need to change and to evolve with. Okay? All right there. And as always, if you like what we're throwing down on this channel, make sure that you click like and share and subscribe and smash that notification bell so you can tell when we are actually going live on here. We usually come live. If it's your first time, I see a couple of first timers in the house. We usually come live on Fridays at 6 o'clock or 6-ish around that time. So make sure that you come and hit this channel so you can be able to get more notification about the Playground Experience and what we bring in here. All right there. All right, April. I was about to say Kathy D, but she ain't here. So April, get us on out of here.
Stay blessed and stay golden.
All right, and as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, and be ascended. I found out why they say that. They told me to say and that stay. They say no, be ascended because we're there now. So that's what they told me. All right, there. So love it. Namaste. Namago. All right, love you. Until next episode.
Aloha.